This episode is brought to you by Denver Fringe Festival. Denver's favorite Choose Your Own Adventure Arts Extravaganza is back. The 7th annual Denver Fringe Festival runs June 3rd through June 7th. Catch over 80 shows at 20 venues around Denver, including the Fringe Art Show at 2 different venues. Got kiddos? Check out Kids Fringe, a mini festival for families with free kids shows at 3 different locations. Tickets are just $20 for a show or $95 for a full festival pass. Tickets and passes are on sale now at denverfringe.org.
Welcome to CityCast Denver. I'm Paul Caroli, and here's what Denver's talking about. Welcome again to CityCast Denver, the show about the city where this punchline, much like Vice President J.D. Vance's plan to visit today to a trailer and truck parts warehouse just off I-70, has been canceled. Sorry, folks. No punchline today. I had a great one. I promise. Olivia even told me, she was like, this one's actually good, which I appreciated. But we got 2 great guests, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Number 1, why the bus is late, and how something as boring as governance reform might help. Number 2, the fascinating Patagonia lawsuit. I cannot wait to dig into this one. We got a bonus segment for members only about how DIA wants us to get between concourses since the trains are down sometimes. We got some fun listener comments on that one I'm eager to share with y'all. And then wins and fails of the week, of course, to end the show. But like I mentioned, Bree's out today. A couple of great guests joining us for a second Friday in a row. He's a politics contributor and our reigning hater of the year. Welcome back, Adrian Felix. How are you?
Hello. Doing well.
Very good. Very good to see you again. Let's keep moving. I want to get to these topics. Joining us for the first time is someone I think regular listeners will be very interested in meeting. He is a staffer in Mayor Mike Johnston's office and a candidate for the State House of Representatives, District 5. Welcome to the pod, Sterling Sims. Hey, Sterling.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's great to be with y'all. I listen to every episode you do, so this is a real cool experience for me.
Wow. Every single one.
A real fan. We love that.
That's it.
And you two know each other a little bit, I learned today.
Yes.
You have actually crossed paths before in this world of local politics.
Yes. So I was on the transition committee for the mayor. I want to say it was like his diversity transition committee at the time. I don't remember.
It was social equity and innovation. Yep.
Exactly. And so I attended a few meetings. I was like super hopeful. As you all know, and I'm sure the listeners know, I'm not too big a fan of the mayor now, but it should be said, I did give him a fair chance. But you know, that's politics for you. It's like you start in a great place and then you might end up not so well, but you know, things can change.
Well, social equity and innovation, I guess, is going to be the theme of the day. The overlap between you two. But Sterling, there's another elephant in the room, a whole second one. I didn't even know about the first one, but the second one is, we have to talk about it. Your opponent to represent this North Side downtown area, District 5, is CityCast Denver's own green chili correspondent, Justine Sandoval.
That's right.
This is just very weird. We have to talk about it. I'm not sure how. Do you want to address it at all? Is there anything you want to talk about there?
Look, I really love and respect the work that Justine's done over the years, and I think she makes a great green chili correspondent for CityCast. And I've really decided to jump into this race because I still do believe that we need new voices at the table who have not necessarily been doing this for as long as she has. I think that there's really a call, especially now in the Trump administration, to really bring on a new generation of candidates. And that's really what I hope to bring to the table in this election.
Okay. Very
good. What a political answer. But I do have a question. Right. Fantastic. But what I will say is that I found it very interesting during the assembly process to the nomination that it was like incredibly close. I think it was like 51 to 49%, both of you getting on the ballot. Can you kind of speak to your strategy and how you made that happen? Because you definitely jumped on a little bit later in the race.
I did. It's definitely not a decision that I took lightly. I really love the work that I do at the city. It's been sincerely the single greatest honor of my life. I mean, the stuff that I've been able to see, the lessons that I've been able to learn, sometimes the hard way, as it often happens in government. But I most certainly would not have left the city if I didn't really believe that I could better serve the community somewhere else. And I really believe that the fight right now is at the state. And I really waited because I wanted to see what the race would look like. You mentioned the assembly process. There are actually 4 of us in the race at the beginning. That was Raina Kingston, that was Trevor Jones, that was Justine, and that was myself. Trevor was eliminated at assembly. Me and Justine ultimately made it through that assembly process. So now we're the only 2. But I really did jump in because I didn't see the sort of policy direction that I wanted to from the candidates that were in. Okay. And so when I jumped in, I immediately went to work. I was, doing the good old fashioned organizing, making your calls.
Give us an example. One policy difference. What's an example? What were you not seeing that you want to do different?
Yeah, and it's not so much about the policy as it is the vision, right? I think we have a Democratic establishment that has really tried to focus on the affordability crisis, especially in the wake of Zoran Mamdani, right? You say the A word, you throw that out there again and again and again, and eventually people are it's gonna stick and you're gonna sound like you're really fighting. And it's not that those Democrats are wrong, it's that they're missing the point. We don't have an affordability crisis in this country. That's not the one that we're facing. It's the inequality crisis is what's fueling the affordability crisis and every other crisis that we face, from climate to homelessness to everything else. And we can talk about affordability all we want, but the way we are doing things right now is structurally the reason why things are as bad as they are. Until and unless we can face that reality and fundamentally change the type of economy we're building, both here in this state and across the country, everything else we do is just going to be a temporary solution. And I just don't see that and I didn't see that from any of the other candidates in the race. And I, at the risk of sounding immodest, I don't see that from my current opponent now. And I really think that that's the messaging that the Democrats need to change on. Because if we only focus on symptoms, which I'd argue the party have done for the last 15 years, don't be surprised when a TV game show host comes along to say he can fix all the problems by himself.
Okay. I've got a million more questions I'd love to ask you. And I love that you're jumping in, Adrian. Well, please, at any point, grill Sterling about his campaign, please. But we got to get to a little bit of business and then our first topic. The business is, it is official. Phil Weiser and Michael Bennet, the 2 leading candidates for governor, both Democrats. They're running in the primary. June 30th is when the election is. They have both agreed to come back to the podcast for back-to-back interviews about their campaigns. So we need your help. What questions do you want to hear these 2 candidates respond to, either for both of them, one or the other? I know people are curious. They're talking a lot. They're going to come talk to us. So what do you want to know? 720-500-5418. That's the number, 720-500-5418. Our first topic, such a doozy. So Governor Polis and RTD reform are the 2 things here. Honestly, it's going to be a lot of Polis because he really wants to be talking about RTD reform, but he keeps getting chased by this Tina Peters stuff, and it's all anyone can talk about, and he keeps trolling everybody. But the RTD side of it, I'll just set up, and we can start with that because they're both really interesting, is on Tuesday afternoon on a crowded bus on 16th Street, Governor Polis signed into law a bill that radically shifts who and how decisions get made about public transit in the Denver metro area. We've covered this a lot at the beginning of the session. We'll have links to those old shows if you want to go deeper. But the reform bill basically says, and it's basically the same, is it eliminates 10 of the 15 members of RTD's elected board and replaces them with 4 members appointed by the governor and 5 members that are elected by new districts. So it's going to be total of 9 as opposed to 15. Governor seemed very happy to be talking about this and not Tina Peters. The hope is this makes RTD more efficient. Sterling, I'm coming to you first. What do you think? I mean, do you believe in this? Is this going to help?
I think it's a yes and no question, right? I mean, in some ways, yeah, I think this bill will provide meaningful reforms to RTD. I think codifying the service councils, I think it's a really important first step in aligning RTD's mission with the local governments that they serve. So I'm really glad that that was included in this bill. I do have significant concerns about the structure of the board. I think 5 elected members to 4 appointed members by the governor, that is just too thin of a margin. I'm sorry. I think that I do see the wisdom in shrinking the board. I think it definitely made sense. I think it does make sense to also bring online that appointed expertise. But having that split where the governor automatically controls 44% of the board off the rip, I mean, that doesn't really sit well with me. And I really think that there are serious representation concerns with how small this board is, given that Denver, I'm a big advocate for Denver for reasons that are probably obvious. I think now with this board structure, we have only 1 guaranteed seat on that board. I think that's too few. We have such a huge impact on this board. We should have a greater say in the decision-making process there.
Yeah, I want to drill down on the Denver versus the suburbs piece of this. That's such a common problem with any debate over RTD. It seems to boil down to that. But Adrian, generally, where are you at? What grabs you? There's kind of a lot here.
So, in my experience with RTD, and in particular with like the elections that happen, that there is a lack of expertise in terms of people that run for the board. And so I do understand that argument. But again, I actually agree with Sterling here that like that margin is just too scary, especially if you have 4 people that are like in the pocket of the governor. Now, I don't believe that the Governor Polis will be the one to make these appointees because he is too late in his term in order to do so. So obviously then the next governor is going to have like quite a task of being able to like appoint this. But at the end of the day, this is about ridership, right? And as someone who like very sparingly has ever taken public transit, in particular in Denver, in my 7 years here, I don't see this like really making a dent on whether I feel safe on RTD or, whether that's going to be what I choose to go around town.
Let me go deeper here. I want to tell you all what I heard because I checked in with some sources on this from my coverage in the past. And I heard what the story is of how this bill actually got passed is there was a compromise that was brokered by the bill sponsors between the elected officials representing the suburbs and those representing Denver. The compromise is the suburbs get to remove any consideration of ridership when the 5 new districts are drawn. So ridership will not be a factor in that drawing of the maps. And the urban interests get to slightly minimize the influence of Dr. Cog, the Denver Regional Council of Governments, who nominates some candidates for the governor to appoint. So that was the compromise. And both sides, I think, feel like they got a short shrift here. But Sterling touched on this. So Adrian, what do you think? Do you think Denverites are going to lose out?
Again, it's like if the purpose is just to increase ridership, I'm just not quite sure that like they're missing out on anything because it's like if I'm not on a rider or if I'm not a rider, what exactly am I missing out on? Right? Yeah. It's like if that is the problem, receiving like maybe less of a say or more of a say isn't to me like the problem here.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is money. That's like always where I come back to, and I just heard that in the CBS coverage of because James Flatham from Greater Denver Transit was speaking, and then Chris Nicholson on the RTD board, and I think it was Flatham who was like, this was what we could manage to make a deal on given the constraints of 0 budget to spend. Sure. There's no more money to give RTD to expand what a lot of people would say is pretty good service. It's just infrequent and not enough of it, and that stuff just costs money that isn't there. RTD's in a huge hole. So I think it's like they're hoping this builds trust between lawmakers, potentially Sterling will be one in the future, and RTD in a way to create some funding mechanisms. And Sterling, what do you think? I mean, does this build trust for you?
It does and it doesn't, right? I mean, like I said, I really do have a problem with the representation piece. I do think that this bill will help in the sense that it will reconcile RTD's long-term goals with the long-term goals of the local governments that they manage. I think that's been a really big disconnect between Dottie and RTD. I think that we really need to look at the fact that they're the closest, most comparable transportation network compared to RTD is Salt Lake City's. It's Utah's. And since the COVID pandemic ended, they are almost back to full ridership numbers since pre-pandemic levels. They're organized almost the exact same way. They have the exact same board structure with the C-suite leadership that we do, and they somehow found a way to get it right in the wake of the pandemic that we simply have not. And so I really do think having that local expertise on that board will be a benefit. And the nice thing, you mentioned the state lawmakers. Hopefully I will be one of them next year, but we shall see. But now those boards that are advising RTD on the local governance issues, they are now legally required to report to the state legislature twice a year, not just to the RTD board. So now there is that level of accountability that we as a state can hold over RTD because we get those reports directly, regardless of how the board might feel about whether or not we know about it. And there is one more nuance that I did just want to share. I mentioned earlier at the outset, under this system, the governor will have direct appointment of 44% of the board right off the rip, right? Senate confirmation, but still. Interesting nuance here. There are no donor limits in an RTD race. We know how this works. A governor can recruit a candidate. They can pump a bunch of money into their race because there are no spending limits to speak of. And now you can have a governor who unilaterally controls the supermajority of that board. If you're trying to say build a really, really big train halfway across the state and you need some money, that's something that I might be a little concerned about as a legislator, say 5-10 years from now.
You're saying a future governor, an unscrupulous future governor, could sell these seats on the RTD board. That's what you're saying.
Not necessarily sell, but they could stack the seats on the RTD board, and they can really make sure that their priorities are the one that take precedent.
Well, that's interesting.
I want to say, Paul, before you interject, that on the hater meter, there has certainly been some angst between the legislators and the RTD board members who are we're certainly dead set against this because in a way, for many of them, their seats are on the line. Yeah. So that has been a very interesting dialogue to see in terms of the power dynamics of RTD board members versus the legislatures and the governor.
What did you see? What are you talking about?
I'm not going to give names, but it's certainly
who's gunning for your title right now, Adrian?
Definitely some former RTD members that sit on city council.
One of them in particular fits that description. We're talking about Chantel Lewis, District 8.
I say go look at their social media profiles and just see what they've been saying about this discussion, because there is definitely some beef happening.
Yeah, I saw this as well. I wanted to talk about this with her. I emailed her. I asked her to come on the show, and we were trying to make it work, but I didn't hear back. So I hope she comes back in the future and talks about it, because she was talking about this representation piece as well, Sterling, and she had some comments about Matt Ball, the Denver state senator, who was one of the sponsors on the bill, another former mayor's office employee, one of your former colleagues, Sterling. This is such a weird show. This is so entangled in a weird way. I'm getting goosebumps about how
you love it. You love it.
I'm also terrified something is going to go wrong, but it's okay. But yeah, Chantel said that. I asked her to come on the show, and then I asked Matt Ball about it because So he has no comment. No comment. He was very happy to get the bill done. Proud of it. Proud of the work. Thinks that it's going to make a big impact. He, of course, was pictured. This is the last piece of this, and then we got to move on. But he was pictured with Governor Jared Polis this week. I think he's the first lawmaker to be in a photo with Polis since the Tina Peters situation first erupted.
He's absolutely mogging the governor in these photos. I will.
100%. Yeah.
Explain this term. Not everybody's going to know this term.
Mogging is just he's far more attractive to look at. It's a scale of masculinity, and you have Matt Ball, who's in shape, somewhat decent hair, very attractive man, and then you have
Army
Governor
Special
Polis.
Forces officer. It's
right, exactly. So he's just absolutely mogging the governor in these photos.
The governor behind a tiny desk in a row in the aisle of a bus, which I don't know if you all caught this. In retrospect, it was kind of weird to do this, but I did an interview with the governor last year for this Abundance Network thing. And we were talking about buses and trains and stuff and the potential of this bill passing and coming to him and whatever. But one of the questions I asked him was, why have I never seen you do a press conference on a bus? I only see you on trains. do you not like buses? Because he obviously has this fixation with the front range passenger rail and seems to have never really cared much about Denver transit, except generally commenting about RTD. And he was like, trains look prettier. And now here he is, the first transit bill to sign, he does it on a bus. I don't know if I can claim credit, but maybe.
Now, if I recall, didn't he do a bill signing on a train for the front range passenger rail? I thought he did that like last year.
Oh, perhaps. He's certainly done a few.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen him on quite a few trains. And then the closest
it's a regular antic, if I recall.
It's governor's antics. You know, the other thing this week was 2 days after this, our bill signing is he posts this photo. We were sharing it on the email thread, but he posts a photo of himself with duct tape over his mouth, referencing the fact that the Democratic Party censured him and blocked him from speaking at party events. And then he's coming out with the duct tape. I got texts about this from my family. Adrian, you got it. What do you think about this?
So it was going to be my low of the week.
Mine too.
We could say, okay.
So
let's do it now.
Save it and let's go now. Okay, for sure.
Bring it on.
Firewall.
It is just a grown man acting like a victim. This man is a multimillionaire governor. He even publicly stated that he really wasn't impacted allegedly by this censure. And then we see him do this kind of stuff. It's giving, I got my feelings hurt. And it's just childish, but this is what we've been dealing with for 8 years. I am no fan of the governor. I used to be. No. What loser behavior.
Sterling, you said it was going to be your fail of the week as well. I mean, if you'd like to add anything, if you go ahead.
Just to compound on the Tina Peters story in general, I mean, she was in a resentencing hearing. She was right in the middle of it. Had the governor not acted on this commutation, she would have gotten a reduced sentence anyway. All we would have had to do was wait. I sincerely cannot wrap my mind around why he made this decision. I mean, I get it. He built a sort of political brand on this having a libertarian streak, and I think it was necessary at the time, right? He was a gay man running for office in a Republican Colorado. That is kind of what you need to cultivate back in those days. But I really think our state has outgrown that political sentiment, especially that we're functionally a blue state now. And we've kind of outgrown that approach. And I sincerely think he believes that she was prosecuted for her speech. Yeah, speech like, I don't regret a thing. I would do it again if I had to, right? I mean, how else are you going to weigh the risk of recidivism without weighing the speech in general, right? I mean, last Friday, she went on Twitter and she said flat out, that she doesn't regret a thing and that her commutation is actually proof that the Democrats are hiding something, that we stole the 2020 election. So, I mean, sorry, you're not going to get sympathy from me because you got censured by the party. I, quite frankly, would support a censure by the state legislature. This is your legacy now. And
would you support a censure by the RTD bus drivers? Should he not be allowed to sign bills on the RTD bus anymore?
As someone who will hopefully have oversight over RTD next year, yeah, why not? Send it. That's take him off the butt. Look,
he's on the record, folks.
This will happen again. 10 years in prison's a long time. If you believe that an election is being stolen from you, especially from a president or a governor, you think the very future of your state and your country's at risk. 4 years is not a long time. You can do 4 years in jail for that. 10 years, that'll make people pause. But I mean, the fact that this sentence has been so low, I don't think there's any doubt that we can have that this is going to happen again. And that's going to be on him. I mean, the state was making an example out of her. Yeah. And for good reason. This is a serious crime. Yeah. There are intelligence officers around the world who would love to do what Tina Peters helped people do, sneak them into election offices, download the source code from our voting systems. That is a serious threat to our public safety. And that's not something that should go lightly. And all you had to do was nothing at all, and she would have had her sentence reduced. So it makes absolutely
And he had
no
his
sense.
out. He was saying that he was going to wait for that process to play out, and then he didn't do that. So
that's right.
I don't know if I have anything to add. I have been flummoxed by the entire situation. I wish the governor would explain himself a little bit better. I wish he would speak a little bit more about this. That's how.
Well,
I
my
feel
fail
about
was going to be him eating a carrot at that press conference. I got to say, that's a great trick. I need to add that to my repertoire or something. That's I've never seen that in my life. That was crazy.
There's just too many jokes to be made about that carrot.
I mean, the carrot and the duct tape over the mouth. I think he's a troll. And I think he is a troll in a way that is connected but different from the thing that led him to make the Tina Peters decision. I don't think that was him trolling people. I think he explained
No, I think
himself.
he's very genuinely convicted in that.
Yeah, I think he's taking a principled decision that is very unpopular. And afterwards, he is delighting in the fact that he doesn't need people's votes anymore to be governor again. But anyway, I mean, listeners, let us know what you think. I mean, I literally can't stop talking to people about this Tina Peters, Governor Polis stuff. It's bizarre, this situation. But we have to go to a break and keep moving because there's more great stuff to talk about.
This episode is brought to you by the Central City Opera. The 94th Central City Opera Festival opens June 27th. Since 1932, Central City Opera has been one of Colorado's favorite arts traditions, bringing world-class talent to an 1878 opera house just 1 hour west of Denver. This summer, Central City Opera is celebrating Colorado's 150th anniversary and 250 years of American independence with an anniversary all their own, the 70th anniversary of their world premiere of The Ballad of Baby Doe. The show tells the scandalous historical love story of Silver Baron Horace Tabor, who has left his wife Augusta for Baby Doe, which rocked Denver society and remains a staple of Colorado history. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with Baby Doe. I want to see this show so bad. I know it's a scandalous story because Augusta Tabor doesn't get the credit she deserved for being a very cool lady. But there's something intriguing about Baby Doe. If you've ever seen pictures of her, she's gorgeous. And there's a reason there was a mining-themed restaurant named after her in Denver, because we love Baby Doe. Other shows this summer include The Marriage of Figaro, Masterclass, CCO in Concert, and so much more. Tickets start at $32 and seats are going fast, so don't miss out. The festival runs June 27th through August 2nd. Visit centralcityopera.org to learn more.
All right, we're back. Our next topic. Truly an amazing story. I have to give credit to producer Olivia Jewell for flagging this because it's exactly the kind of thing that I want to talk about. Identity, Denver's weird culture, fashion, and then, of course, copyright law. So the situation is drag queen and climate activist Pattie Gonia broke her silence this week over a dispute she's been having with the outdoor outfitter Patagonia and the use of her name. The company alleges that she is doing irreparable harm to their brand by organizing hikes and selling merch, and they sued her. They say they wish they could have settled this out of court, and they do have evidence of trying in their lawsuit. And this all, of course, comes 1 month ahead of her eagerly awaited appearance at Denver Pride Fest in late June. So Denverites are watching this one. It's kind of the hot show of the summer, in my opinion now. I mean, how could you not go and see Patagonia at Denver Pride Fest? But the legal dispute, Adrian, I want to start with you. What do you think about this?
Well, first of all, that Patagonia, which is I'm sure a multi-million-dollar corporation, thinks that they can trademark what is considered a land area in South Africa. They are not, to me, the inheritor or the creator or the copyright creator of Patagonia. This is a word that has existed before them, but also the nature that drag queens, every drag queen I've ever met has a name in which it's a play on something. Sometimes it is a corporation. Sometimes it's a funny pun. So it's it's just part of the culture. But the thing is I'm sure Patagonia is happy to take money from the LGBTQ, but for whatever reason, they're putting a stop to this, which I find very saddening and also very timely. Like you said, Pride is right around the corner.
Yeah, Sterling, what do you think? I mean, this has got to be, this touches on so many big themes for us. What do you think?
I tried to put myself in Patagonia's shoes and possibly see what their angle is here. I mean,
the company?
The company. I really can't understand what their angle is. I mean, it's a lawsuit for a gentleman's wager of $1, right? I mean, they're clearly just trying to make a big production out of this and shut her down for reasons I don't understand. I did see one logo or one sticker that I think she might have been selling at one point that did look like a Patagonia logo. But I mean, outside of that, that's not even mentioned in this lawsuit, at least as far as I can tell. So I really don't understand what the angle is here with that.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, having read some of the lawsuit, I see pictures that they've flagged here. It does look like the branding. It does look like the font. It looks like the colors. It looks like that black mountain range silhouette. And there was an incident, I think, in 2022 that they flagged where like Patagonia, because of her rising stardom in this world, was going to do a collab with Hydro Flask. And like you can imagine a Patagonia Hydro Flask showing up in a store next to Patagonia clothes, and that would challenge their brand. And for a company like that, like if you don't defend your trademark and set a precedent of defending it, I mean, I obviously can't not think about the Lucifer situation. I mean, if you've heard our past episodes on that, but it really is like if they let the precedent stand, then someone else can push a little further into their branding. So that's what I see their case as, but I don't know. I mean, do you think that's a good case, Adrian?
No, because I just think that like there is a culture in drag queens that there is this play off of it, and it's like it's just queer culture, and obviously maybe that's where the clash is happening. But I just think that if you are confident in your brand, if anything, you should be flattered. Like I truly don't believe that there is like an extreme competition between a drag queen and a multi-million-dollar company. That I don't see the comparison there. And I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that is exactly their perspective in terms of like branding, but like, can they prove in any way, shape or form that they are losing business or money because a drag queen has a punny name?
Yeah. I mean, Sterling, what do you think? I mean, do you think they could? Where are you seeing that?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. The on the branding piece, I only saw one logo that really looked like they were knocking it off of Patagonia. And I don't know if she even sells that anymore. That was really the only thing that I could see that even looked remotely similar to their brand. And it's not as if they're ideologically disaligned. I mean, Patagonia is not owned by Peter Thiel. It tends to be a pretty progressive left-leaning organization. So I really think that a partnership would make a lot more sense in this case than this lawsuit. But I'm not on their legal team. So
I do wonder about that actually. Like, and I kind of hope we dig in further on this and can report more on this situation. But I wonder if this whole thing started with an offer of working together, and maybe there was some kind of dispute over the value or like a misalignment, I guess. But yeah, like they do similar work, and that's part of the problem, according to Patagonia, is in her defense. I mean, she said a lot of things that you've said, Adrian, about like Patagonia, literally a place. I think it's in South America, and like parody being such a foundational aspect of drag. But the thing that I found so powerful was she said that the company is betraying its own environmentalist mission by wasting all of these legal fees. And she's and like you can tell that this is part of the corporate, like the way this corporation is set up is very unique because of this guy who runs it, Chouinard, a kind of an interesting character in his own right, but he converted the company to be a public trust so that all the profits go into the environment. Like she could be making a case to whoever's running that trust. Like I don't know. I don't know. Sterling, what do you think about Pride and Patagonia? Is this going to be the big show of the summer? Are you going to be there?
Oh yes, absolutely. We go all out for Pride.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any Patagonia half zips at home? I honestly think Denverites are going to be conflicted by this.
I don't have the half zip. I have the full zip windbreaker. I'm actually looking at it right now, but no half zip. That's a little too Peter Thielish for me. That's that corporate half zip look.
It is. But is Patagonia their brand? I don't know anymore. I don't know what that brand means.
I was just going to say, we were really concerned at the outset of the Trump administration about corporate sponsors possibly walking away for the anti-DEI, anti-equity initiatives that the administration was pushing. We thankfully have not really seen that here in Denver. This is a really big, really important event for the region. I mean, our neighbors are Laramie, Wyoming, the site of the Matthew Shepard killing, Salt Lake City, the capital of America's only theocracy, Texas, Nebraska, Nebraska, right? We are a sanctuary city for queer people here in Denver. I mean, I myself couldn't even come out of the closet till I moved here. This city is really, really important, just giving space to these people across the region who can't be themselves where they're from. And so I'm really glad that we haven't seen those sponsorships drop, because this is really important.
Well, I know a lot of people are thinking about this stuff going into June. It's going to be a fun month. Pride looks a little different this year. I'm sure we'll be talking about that on the podcast soon.
Right.
Yep.
Patagonia merch, nothing in her store right now. I did look that up, wanted to share that, but there is a thriving resale market. Interesting stuff would love to hear.
She will be on Denver on June 29th. Unfortunately, I won't be in attendance. I will be on a plane to Puerto Rico that day. So, but best of luck, Patagonia.
Good for you, going on a trip. That sounds fun. All right. We actually have now something very special, bonus segment for members only. So if you want to hear that, now is the time to go to membership.citycast.fm, sign up to become a CityCast Denver neighbor today. You get these bonus segments every Friday. You get a bunch of other great perks. We're cooking up new stuff all the time. I got a meeting about one later today. Can't wait to share. But that bonus segment starts right now. All right, we're back. We're going to do wins and fails. This is where each of us bring a recent local something, one we think is a win, one we think is a fail. Maybe it's a news story, maybe it's something we saw, and we're going to talk about them. And we start with fails, but you two have already shared your fail. This Polis duct tape photo. Anything to add?
And the carrot.
And the hair. Okay. Is the carrot part of it for you, Adrian?
I was peeved, certainly, by the carrot thing, only because I hate when people talk with food in their mouth. But there's just too many inappropriate jokes, in particular because he's a gay man, to make about, the carrot in his mouth. But it was a fail. It's like this entire last 2 weeks for the governor has been fail after fail. And I think that's been pretty evident in the way that he is acting in the world. So, best of luck to him on the rest of his bill signings. I couldn't imagine having to be a legislator. A good thing on Senator Matt Ball for doing that again, but he mogged the shit out of the governor in those photos. So just, it's a fail. And we all know it. We're all in agreement. This is a 99.1% situation.
Yeah, it's I'm not hearing a lot of people being like, I love what the governor is doing right now. Sterling, anything else to add on the governor's couple of weeks?
Man, just, I mentioned earlier, just the Tina Peters post last Friday. I mean, she literally went out there and tweeted. She regrets nothing, and she feels even more emboldened now. She genuinely still believes that the election was stolen, and everything that the governor did the last 2 weeks just played right into her hands. And guarantee you, Donald Trump, he's going to cut funding from us somehow, somewhere or another in the next 2 weeks. There's no way he does it.
It gets worse from here.
For fun. Right. Just for fun, just because he can. And so it gets worse from here. You don't back down to a bully that easily, and expect more to come.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I did see something actually that reminded me of this, and it connects back to our discussion about DIA in the Neighbors Only bonus segment. But the Mark Wayne Mullen, the new I think Secretary of the Interior, was talking about potentially limiting international flights in some way to sanctuary cities, which they call Denver a sanctuary city. It's not actually a legal distinction of any kind.
Right.
That's how they're justifying the pressure. But I don't know how that would work, or what they're working on a plan. It sounded like it was like, whoa, okay. Airport's kind of a big deal, but hey,
especially this one.
Yeah. All right, my fail. I have to say it. The Avalanche. I've been watching the team.
Womp womp.
Been watching the NHL playoffs. Been loving it. They looked so good. They won the President's Trophy. They cruised through the first 2 rounds. Looked like they were going to just win it all. And then it was the most epic collapse in recent memory. In all my life of watching hockey, these stars, either they got hurt or they just forgot how to do it, or the coaching was off, or they were going out too late in Vegas is some stuff I was seeing. That's who they lost to, the Vegas Golden Knights. And I do think
they didn't score any touchdowns.
Okay. I think Sterling, I don't know you as a sports person either, actually. Did you watch any of this? Does this matter to you?
Oh, I was a fantastically unathletic child as a kid, but no, I've really I've had to become a sports fan in this business. You know, we need the Avs to win, we need the Broncos to win. So yeah, I was watching that game and I'm furious. So could I tell you much about it? I have no idea, but you know, I was definitely watching that game that night. I was very mad.
It's so funny he mentions that because that is probably the one reason I would never run for politics in Colorado is that I cannot feign caring about sports teams. So like, there's just no way that you're going to get me in order to win votes to be like Broncos. Yeah. Like there's just no way in hell. There's just no way.
I'll tell you, Adrian, this used to be me like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was so not a football person, Broncos at all. And now I'm like, it's my favorite thing. I totally changed my mind, my whole perspective.
But I will say, if I watch anything, it's hockey for sure, by far.
Hey, there you go.
It's just a really fun watch.
Let's move on to wins. I'll go first. I got a fun one. The Fan Expo is in town. It's the big Comic-Con. That's what they call it now. And some of the actors from the Lord of the Rings film series that I love. I prefer it to the books. Sorry, Tolkien heads. But the actors are in town. Elijah Wood is one of them, and he is now doing 2 nights. They had to add a second night because it was the first one sold out so quickly of a Lord of the Rings themed, loosely, DJ night at Cervantes on Sunday and Monday called Wooden Wisdom. They're calling it a fantasy themed event and costumes encouraged. Not normally my thing because, you know, I'm not really in that world, but I do kind of want to go see it. And I'm so thrilled that this sold out, and it sounds like a lot of Denverites are really excited about it. So I felt something. It was Lord of the Rings stuff. It's like, that's one of my faves.
Any chance to put on a costume or to like create something, I'm all in.
There you go.
I mean, if you remember last year's Halloween costume episode, I went all in. I was great.
I do remember, and that's all I have to say about it. It's quite a clip on our Instagram, folks. Go check it out. Scroll back a bit, but it's quite a clip. Sterling, what's your win?
Yeah, I think the my win of the week was the PERG report that just came out on Colorado's climate goals. It looks like in 2025, about 44% of the energy we use, or at least the equivalent, is now generated by renewable sources. So wind, solar, geothermal. We're definitely not meeting our greenhouse gas initiative goals by 2030 or 2026. I think that ship is pretty much sailed, but at least this is a very good step in the right direction in terms of getting our grid transitioned off to more cleaner and sustainable sources.
Hell yeah. Nice. That's a good win, Sterling. Adrian, how about you?
So being the local beefer that I am, my local win is Denver Water has launched a survey that allows you to snitch on your neighbors when they use water during something that is otherwise restricted. So sprinkler usage between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. during rainstorms or high wind events. I'm looking at the survey now, and all you need is an email, and you can continue to beef with your neighbor and snitch on them.
Wow.
That's a win for people who like to beef.
Have you used it yet? Have you filled it out on people?
So I live in a very urbanized place, so there really isn't a need to use sprinklers where I live. But where I run, in particular, around the River North area, there I see a lot of lawns, and I'm keeping an eye out. But I'm sure that that usage of the survey is going to skyrocket this summer.
I'm sure it is. I'm going to send this to my wife. She's totally one of these people.
Whenever you go.
We see a sprinkler on going over the sidewalk, she's like, these people. Don't they know we're in a drought?
Exactly. And so this is a win for her because now, and from my understanding, looking at the survey, all you need is an email address. You don't have to give a name. You can do this, create an anonymous email, send that in, and the city is going to be on it.
Okay, not that anyone's thought about how exactly they might do that. Not get it traced back to them, but yeah, okay. Well, that's a great win, Adrian. Hey, you two, this was really fun. This was such a fun show. Great topics. I would love to have you both back. Adrian, Sterling, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much, Paul.
Sterling, actually, let me give you one last second here. Where can people go to learn more about your campaign?
Yeah, I do have a website, simsforco.com, SIMMSFORCO.com, and my social media handles are all the same, Sims for CO. But check us out, and we've got 30 more days left, so don't forget to vote.
Good luck. It's heating up.
Best of luck, man.
Politics time. I keep getting email. People are getting nastier a little bit. It's really coming in. It's happening now.
It's heating up. That's right. Yep.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, thanks, you too. See y'all.
Hey, thanks so much, Paul.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. Our producers this week were Adrian Gonzalez, Olivia Jewel Love, and me, Paul Caroli. Michelle Polizzi and Natalia Aldana write our morning newsletter. Bree Davies is our host, and she'll be back next week. Our music is by Los Mocochetes, with additional mixing by Tyler Lindgren. Our ad music is by Cuba Quartet from Epidemic Sounds via Getty Images. If you haven't already, subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram or TikTok at CityCast Denver, and tell Patagonia founder Yvon Chouinard about us. Apparently that's what people call him. And we'd love to talk to you. Thank you so much to all the new neighbors who have joined our membership program. You too can support the show and get great perks like the bonus segment that you may have missed in today's episode by becoming a CityCast Denver neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. And sign up for that daily newsletter I mentioned and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. And that's the credits. That's for the week. See y'all next time. I do want to share the punchline of my J.D. Vance joke because I did actually have a good one and I felt weird about it after they canceled. But so he's stopping at this trailer and truck parts warehouse just off I-70. Word on the street is his aides are still going to stop by quick and pick up a muffler because he is exhausting. Thank you.